Hey guys, and welcome to yet another cast of Salt. Today you have three lovely hosts. All the way to the right we have Adam.
Hello.
In the middle we have Rose.
Why, hello there.
And it's been here. Thanks for joining us. If you're on YouTube, check out the rest of our stuff, the videos, the Let's Plays, everything else that we do. If you're on iTunes or SoundCloud, just throw in some comments. Let us know what you think. And please feel free to jump onto our Discord. We have a wee bit of a community happening there. Anything that you're interested in, anything you want to bring up, any ship posting, any memes, whatever it is you're keen on.
Yeah, come tell Benny's bad at Hearthstone.
But yeah, good to see you guys. How has everybody's last 2 weeks been?
Pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good.
Anything exciting?
Are they playing more? Oh, well, actually, this is interesting because last podcast, I think we were talking about like Carl was recommending the Hollow Knight.
Yeah, I sure
and
was.
I was like, oh
Adam,
yeah, I've been meaning to play it. And
Adam
I
has done
bought
nothing
it.
since.
I bought it literally
Nothing else
walking home from
from the podcast.
walking home from recording the podcast.
Great.
And then started playing it, and fuck me, it's a great game.
So
It's good.
was it a legit recommendation?
Oh yeah, it's 100%. I will be recommending it probably for this week.
See, you see, people.
It's good.
It's real.
It's real.
Go buy it.
It's very.
Carl knows
very
what he's talking
fun.
about.
It's a very fun
Occasionally.
game. Yeah, it's great. It's. I haven't. Okay, so I'm apparently about 60% of the way through the game.
That was just a guess.
Roughly. Like I'm into the meat of the game, and so far I haven't hit anything that was the ball-bustingly hardness that people say so far.
Yeah.
But I'm still waiting. Like I'm not in endgame, so I'm still waiting
for it to just wreck your shit.
for the shit to hit me.
It's entirely possible that I'm just bad at video games.
No. But the thing is, no. But the
But
thing
you're
is,
not
like,
the only one saying so.
I've been seeing many people be like, in their streams and saying, I'm streaming this game because I love it and it fucking angers me. And like that's a common thread. So the internet as a whole finds this game difficult. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I've been practicing because I want to take on the Steel Soul.
Yeah, that'd be
mode
fucked. I don't know
challenge.
how you're gonna do that without dying once.
The whole game.
I don't know how you would do that.
It wouldn't be that hard.
I mean,
think.
it sounds like it's doable, but it's hard.
There's a couple of bosses that I'd really need to practice on, which he hasn't fought yet, so I'm not going to spoil them. But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great game.
With that challenge, like the first time you die, it's like, well, you gotta start again.
It deletes your save file. Yep.
Start right
Just
over again.
straight up. Deletes
Yeah,
your save
no.
file.
You need to
That's
be able
not
to
for
go
me.
through certain things and be like, I'm not going to do the Colosseum. Like, this optional challenge, you'd be like, I'm just not going to fucking risk
It's like you're not gonna risk it.
that shit.
I reckon you could do the first 2 levels of the Colosseum without too much drama.
Yeah.
I reckon you could. But you definitely want to make sure that you got all the upgrades possible before you started to take on like the harder bosses.
End game shit. Yeah.
So-
It's a very fun game. Recommend to anyone that has a Switch. It's definitely not.
Recommend to anyone that has a Steam, more like.
Oh, yeah, because you
It's
can
also
also
on
get it on
Steam.
PC as well. Steam, it's great. It's a great game for being portable, though. I
Yes,
will
it
say that
is.
for the
Yeah.
Switch. It's
Yes, it
fucking
is.
great for being portable.
How
yeah.
good is the Switch?
Switch is the best. Do you have a Switch yet?
Not yet.
Get on that
Well,
shit.
gonna
well,
get
as I
it.
was saying as well, the Switch has just outsold the PS4 for this year's in sales. So
Good stuff. Good
they've
stuff,
been
Switch.
selling more.
And
Financial,
there's just-
financial
But to be honest, that doesn't really surprise me that much.
Oh yeah, I mean
because
the PS4's been out for
It
a
was
while.
the first
like, it's
financial
not-
year of the Switch. First full financial year of the
Mm.
Switch's life cycle, whereas the PS4 has been out for how many years now?
Like 5?
A lot.
4, I want to say 4 maybe.
like
I feel like the ratio of people that would want a PS4 versus
Probably
the people
have
that
one
already
already.
has it is sort of.
Oh no, I
becoming-
totally understand
becoming
that,
more,
but
more.
the Switch is but obviously it's here to stay, and the amount of indie games coming out, and the recent report that people are, Nintendo wants 30 indie titles per week. Was it?
I think they're probably.
Was it 30 a week? It was fucking nuts. I was like, what are you?
I think they're being a little bit.
That's a bit
A
ambitious.
little bit ambitious on
Ambitious
that one.
there.
Was that the stat, Carl?
I think
can't
so.
remember. 30 a week they
Yeah.
wanted. Oh my god.
30
You're
a
gonna Google it.
Yeah,
but,
I will.
Yeah,
30
but that's. I mean, like you're not like. I think that's too ambitious. Personally, I think if you try and hit those sorts of numbers, you're going to be putting out shovelware.
But even if you do put out shovelware, like if you have a good system to handle it, so if people can clearly go, this is a crap game before they buy it, this is a great game. Like The
Maybe.
reviews, the ratings, the usual sort of thing.
Well, we're already getting derailed, but yeah, let's go down this rabbit hole a bit further.
Okay.
I think the Switch is a great system doesn't mean it doesn't have some flaws, and one of those is a weak eShop interface.
Yeah. So
If you know what you're looking for, it's easy to find it.
Yeah.
If you're just browsing,
browsing.
discover
I tried to
stuff,
browse
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
and I actually browsed instead of searching for Hollow Knight. I actually browsed through the store until I found it, just so I could see what the store kind of homepage is like.
And
yeah, well, this game's popular and people are buying it all the time. It sold like 1 million copies in its first couple of weeks, and it was like about 45 seconds of scrolling through
Before you found
Japanese anime titles
Yeah.
that no one buys.
Yeah.
Till I got to Hollow Knight, and I'm like, why
What the
isn't there
hell?
a featured list? Why
Yeah.
isn't there like
Yeah.
anything?
And that was gonna be-
there is a top seller list, I think.
That was going to be my exact point
Very
as well.
kind of
If you're
weird.
doing shovelware, like if you're just
You don't
putting
wanna
shit
pollute
out
it,
there,
yeah.
you need a good system to handle all of that crap.
Yeah.
You need people to be able to search for things. You need people to be able to actually find what they're looking for. You need to not just go, here's everything, go nuts.
Yeah, so it's
it
an-
has
so-
to be a
yeah.
well-consumable sort of a system.
So it's an interesting goal that they have to get so many indies onto the store, but I think their infrastructure needs a
Well,
bit of a revamp
yeah.
to support that sort of volume.
I also think it is good though that they're going to be picking up the mantle of like the indie console because and it's funny now every major console maker has had their time in the
Their
sun,
time
has
as the
won
indie
the crown,
destination.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it
'Cause, like,
definitely
when-
started on the
first-
360.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah,
first
that was the
indie
first
friendly
one.
thing. PlayStation wanted fucking nothing to do it and to do with anything indie and
Then it was Steam.
and then Steam PCs kind of always just existed as this thing
Yeah.
where you can kind of push
Stuff.
shit to like it's always been
get
like
things
that.
out there. Yeah.
But like consoles has always been like that kind of gate that they've put in, and that's
Yeah.
the idea of consoles. It's
It's
this
like
gate
it's
that
a
little
quality thing.
quality assurance, and then I think Microsoft opened that up with the 360, and then once the Xbox One / PS4 generation came out, PS4, Xbox One just
allowed it.
didn't really have the market share that it needed
Yeah.
to continue that. They're still friendly with the indie devs, but I mean, if you're restricted on budget, you're going to be going for the market leader because you can only release to one console. You're going to go to PlayStation, and then for whatever fucking reason, PlayStation has just dropped the goddamn ball mid-generation.
Yeah.
And the Switch is like,
Well, I mean,
my turn.
sure, I'm going for
See,
it.
the problem is when they became the market leader, all their old instincts from the PS3 era kicked back in.
Yeah, like
Yes.
The PS3, PS2 era,
PS2.
yeah, kicked back in. Remember when it was like when it was the start of the PS3's generation, and then after basically owning the market for however many years the PS2 did, they walked into E3, you know, just basically assuming that they were going to win the whole thing, and they launched their console like a good $150 higher than all
everything
their
else.
competitors.
we'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Everyone's like,
and it's sort
not
of
happening,
like
man.
And
Not
it's sort of
happening.
like then they were like, our console uses a unique chipset, totally different CPU architecture, and with the devs will just have to fucking deal with it because we're Sony, we'll do what the fuck we want.
We're not going to do that.
Anyway, we have
Yeah.
rabbit hole like crazy already. We're still talking about our weeks now.
Oh,
We've effectively brought in a
No,
topic.
that was it. That was it.
Was there anything else from you, Roz?
I just account this as the topic.
Yeah,
We're done.
we really went into a topic there.
I bought Octopath Traveler yesterday for Switch, which
Explain.
is it's a throwback JRPG game
Okay.
by the Bravely Default
Sweet.
developers.
Good?
Well, I'm not far enough into it yet to make a call. I'm still trying to figure out which main character I actually want as my main character.
I just keep seeing. Also, is it?
It's
'cause
like a three-man...
You're talking to the right group of people.
Yeah.
Me and Ben are like we do like our JRPGs. So, what is there one that you would consider picking up? Like, if you like Bravely Default, that's something you would.
It's
consider?
very much like Bravely Default.
Awesome.
Okay,
Cool. I'm a fan of that.
It's turn-based. It's got a similar system to Brave Default, but it's not quite the same.
Okay.
It's
I might get that now.
And it's
like,
a party-based.
party-based system. The reason that I'm sort of agonizing over my main character is that you can't swap your main character out of your party.
So how do you pick?
Okay, no. There's a couple of them have done that, like
Yeah.
where you have one character that
That's
is
right.
consistent the whole way through.
Well,
You
that's
can-
like Final.
you can
Most
update
of the Final Fantasy games, like you cannot swap
Yeah.
out
the main
Cloud
character.
out of Final Fantasy VII unless the
It's
story
part
demands
of the story where he's
not there,
knocked out of
Yeah.
the story for some
Yeah.
reason.
So it was sort of like so I want to have a main character that's basically always going to be
So
useful.
do you pick your main
Yes.
character then?
Yes, you do.
Well, that's kind of cool
This
as well.
is seriously making me want to buy this fucking game now.
You probably should, but
Oh.
I had to go out to Warringah to get a copy because I went to JB.
Is it not on the?
I guess you could get it
store?
Digitally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it, yeah.
But you're more of a
Yeah.
physical copy kind of guy.
There's a all I've been seeing about Octopath is a whole bunch of memes about it because they're all of like most of the items you use, or I guess they're healing items, are like nuts. So there's like soothing nut,
Right.
calm nut,
Yeah, okay.
and everyone's just like, it's great. Like they're just nut puns.
Yeah, okay.
Exciting nut.
yeah.
You're like, great.
Yeah, it's like, yep.
Fucking great.
So,
Didn't really think how the internet was going to take hold of that one.
Yeah, so like I said, it's still early days for me yet. It's not a perfect game. Like the story, like the characters' stories all seem totally self-contained. So despite that you sort of go around and recruit the other characters, when you're doing their story, you are doing their story, and the other characters don't really figure into
They're
it
just
at all.
like, they're just there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could still
So
work.
that's
Not a big deal.
That's a little disappointing because
Yeah.
I tend to like
Interwoven storylines.
Like Bravely Default did do that a little bit. Like if
Bravely Default had a static party, so it could get away with being very narratively focused, and that's the sort of game that I sort of grew up with the JRPG. So it's a little disappointing that it's not that way for this one, but it's not. I don't think it's a. I have a feeling the combat's going to be good enough that it's going to carry it regardless.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. How much was it?
It's full price.
Oh, so
Yeah.
$60, $80.
Despite being having a very odd, very sort of throwback graphical style in that it's sort of like the sprites are all 16-bit resolution, sort
Right.
of blown up and smoothed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Limited frames of animation. But then the worlds are 3D, but the camera's always looking at it forwards.
Is that
Yeah.
like that isometric perception?
No, well,
kind
yeah.
of- the essence of the isometric kind
Yes,
of.
but it's not 3/4. They're always looking at it front on.
Right.
Okay? They're always looking at it front on.
It's a 3D world that you're looking at 2D.
It sort of looks like almost sort of like a paper diorama.
I was going to say Paper
Right.
Mario.
Yeah,
That was the first thing
yeah,
that came to mind when
yeah.
you were explaining that.
Except it's also more pixely than Paper Mario.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's an odd style. I think it works, but it's not going to be for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Me.
Other than that, Hearthstone.
Ooh.
WoW's got an expansion coming out soon, so
course it does.
I've checked. I've checked back in with that to make sure that I still remember how to play the game.
And do you?
No.
Does it count as remembering if you've never known how to play it? I'm sorry, that was me. Anyway, I don't have too much of an. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I don't have too much to rave on about, but I did do an escape room for the first time on Friday.
Oh, you've never done an escape room
I've
before?
never done one before.
They're fun.
That shit is a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're great. We should do
if
one.
If you enjoy
Team
puzzle
bonding.
solving,
I love it. Yeah.
it is fantastic.
That shit's my
fun.
crack.
It sounded really stressful to me.
It is.
I-
No, the
yeah.
thing is, like, okay, so we did the most advanced one with a team of people that have never done
Where
it
did
before.
you do it?
On George Street in Sydney. For people that may not be in Sydney, it's called Escape Hunt. It's
I wonder if I've been to that one.
basically ours was a pub scenario where there was an assassination that happened. So it's called assassination in the pub, and we had to work out who did the
Oh, no,
assassinating.
yeah.
Is there booze?
There is no booze.
Damn it.
But it's and the thing is, so we went in not expecting to finish it. And that's a good way to go in, because if you've never, especially if you've never done an escape room before, and it's like the first time you're going in. But we didn't want to do a beginner's one because we didn't want to be easy and just go, work this out, get out of there. We like
You wanna be
want a
challenged.
challenge.
Yeah.
And especially for people that problem solve as their job on a daily basis, you want something that's gonna
Yeah.
like make you really think. And it was a lot of fun. Like you say, it's
Yeah?
stressful. You
So
love it.
You got out?
No, we got. I reckon we got like 3/4 of the way through.
Right. I've never.
And then the assassin came back and killed you.
I've actually
The
never.
idea is like the pub opens and you lose your clues once the pub is open. That's why you have a time limit. Like, don't open the pub. That's a
This makes some
crime
sense.
scene.
I actually did a virtual reality escape room recently. That was very interesting. Yeah, they put you in a room and then they give you the big these standard kind of gaming chairs. Sit you down, give you a headset. And then you're like kind of like looking around, shooting at shit. Yeah, it's all right.
That's
Interesting.
What? That
And
sounds
it's like jetpack.
weird.
Yeah, it was actually really confusing because it was like.
Did you say jetpacks?
Yeah, because
That's
you'd
how
be
you
like-
move around
yeah.
without actually leaving your seat.
That's going to make me throw up for sure.
Yeah, and it was interesting. There was it was a space one, so there was many 0G bits as well. That went well. But the puzzles there were actually easier puzzles, but actually figuring out how to pick something up. Or how to
the
do
challenge.
something was like an extra layer of difficulty.
So you actually were fighting the interface more often than not.
Kind of, but also but it was these things like, okay, so if I can see markings on the back of my hands, and I can see and I held a hand up and it shot a laser out. I was like, okay, cool. So I need to hit this with a laser for this one, and then another laser for this. But sometimes the aiming was a bit off.
Wasn't quite right.
It's just kind of like trying to figure it out. It was fun though. And
Did you shoot other people?
Yeah, absolutely. You just like sitting there like blasting your teammates while they try and do stuff. And I've played a couple of escape rooms as well.
Yeah.
I've never not gotten out of one.
Okay.
I've never not gotten out of one.
Although the first one we ever did was like the advanced room in the it's next to a Strike Bowling and Darling.
Yeah, I know that.
Near
the
Darling Harbour.
I still have yet to go to an escape room.
It's
It's worth doing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And we literally got out and stopped the buzzer at the front
just
desk.
time
With
was-
4 seconds left.
Yeah.
So we were like
just in
extremely.
time.
I literally ran down the corridor of like the building,
barrel
trying
people
to,
out of the way.
because it was like right down the end of the building, and then you had to press the stop button at the front desk.
Yeah.
Did you do the slow motion?
Literally sprinting down, trying to dodge people going into their escape rooms to
Nice.
stop.
Very nice.
But
All
yeah,
right.
it's fun.
We have rambled about ourselves for a very long time. Let us move
But this
on.
podcast is all about us.
It is about us. This is the
Deal with it.
If you're listening, you've only come here to hear about
Suck
us.
it, listeners.
Anyway, the first topic that we are actually going to get a full swing into is with regards to the culling.
I actually hadn't heard about this story before you told me. It's hilarious. So
Adam,
we'll let
please
you
give
do
us a bit of a recap for our dear listeners.
So this game is probably the worst launch ever, I think.
On the face of the
Ever.
planet.
Like I can't think of a game that has launched
Worse.
in a worse fashion.
I actually can. Diablo 3.
No. I disagree.
People still play Diablo 3 though, correct?
No, because you couldn't get online on launch day. Error 37.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, give context.
So
Context as to
basically,
the
what
culling.
happened is the original Culling was a battle royale game before PUBG. So it was.
But PUBG invented Battle Royale.
Absolutely, yeah.
What are you talking about, Adam?
But this was in the time where there was like a lot of there were a lot of different battle royale games, but no one had quite hit the mark. So you had H1Z1 and DayZ and the Culling and these games that were like trying to figure out what made the optimal battle royale game before PUBG basically was like, I've got it. This is what we should be doing, everyone. So, basically, the game starts where you just drop in. It's 16 players, so it's not. It's
not a massive one,
No,
but it's reasonable size.
And you drop in on a map, and the map's obviously, and it's the same thing with a shrinking map. Although the map always shrinks to the same
Location.
spot. The final is this little arena area that's always the same.
Yep.
And you're in a crate, and the crate opens, and
So when you say crate, do you mean like
like a cage.
like shipping container?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like just for you, like a one person
Like a
size
small
kind of-
box container.
like a capsule, and you get out and off you go. And most of it's around crafting, so you find rocks and combine them, and you make put a rock and a stick together and you make an axe. And
Rock
then you put
plus rock, bigger rock.
you do all these, yeah. So like a lot of, and you find weapons and things, but like it was a lot about melee, and it was melee focused. And there are guns, and bows and things, but they're hard to fire, and they're not like a fucking huge ass machine gun.
So that's not really like battle. That's not the battle royale that we recognize today.
No, absolutely not.
That feels like it's more like a short format version of something like, I don't know, like, I don't actually know what this game's like these days, but back when I played it, Rust was sort of like that.
Yeah.
But it was persistent.
Yes.
But then I heard that they changed it totally after I played it.
Yeah.
So I don't
But
know.
yeah,
I don't actually know what it's like now.
And it was around the same time as Rust, and so this game was in like early access in Steam, and got a fair bit of attention from Let's Play communities, and it was a fun game. It was fun to watch. But the problem kind of went on from there is like, so the game has had bugs and it has been consistently supported.
Yeah.
And then recently,
has bugs,
right?
Adam,
they're not
please,
showing.
Adam, please, you are
crazy.
You are blowing my mind
Lies,
right now.
Adam. Lies.
I don't believe you.
But this, so what happened is the developer said, "Okay, guys, we're stopping support for this game. We're done with the culling." And to note, only a few months after its official 1.0 release, people were like, what the fuck? They're like, we're working on new projects, and people were like, this is a bit weird. Maybe a week later, I think about a week, they're like, surprise, we have a new project. It's the Culling 2, and people are like, are you fucking?
Like, wait.
Are you fucking with us?
What?
Like, you finally released number 1 out of early access. It's a game. You have a community, and now you're stopping it to make a sequel. So people automatically went,
Something's
okay,
up.
cash grab, not feeling great about
Something's
this
not
one.
right, yeah.
And then the next day, Culling 2 release, get it. You can get it right now.
Like, here you go.
And it's supposed to be,
Is it free?
I feel like it's supposed to be one of those
like-
Nintendo mic drops of
Yeah.
being like, guess what, guys? It's out
it's
now.
already
but
done. It's
no
there.
one wanted it.
It's here you go. Surprise.
So they're trying to do the whole like, and it's out on the eShop today.
Yes,
Yeah.
But it didn't actually work.
But everyone.
All right,
Yeah.
okay. I have several questions. Number
Yes.
one, was it free to play or did it cost money?
$20.
$20.
$20. So people were not pleased. Also, the game is a blatant clone of PUBG now. So the melee's gone. The way you spawn's gone. The map is now like some 20-kilometer area. So it's not these tight things. It's a 100-player game.
Yep.
It's you go in on a plane and you airdrop parachute in. It's the fucking Fortnite, PUBG.
It's PUBG.
It's the PUBG.
No,
style.
I watched a little bit of footage.
And
it's PUBG.
it's PUBG.
They changed
PUBG.
all of the aesthetic. It's
Of
PUBG. There's loot boxes. It's like they're just like they don't give a fuck. It's just a PUBG clone. And so everyone,
Money, please.
everyone-
Money, please.
everyone-
Give me your money.
yeah, and everyone saw this and went, no.
Not dealing with that.
Originally
That's weird, though.
on release, 250 users was at the peak. 250 concurrent users on Steam. Now they have a couple of days after release, it dropped down to about, I think 15. I think was the number, and as of a few days ago, it was 2.
A whole 2 people.
2 people.
Shooting at each
2
other.
concurrent players on a
A
fucking
100
battle
person
royale
map.
game.
You know, wasn't Ryan actually saying something about this the other
Yeah,
day?
like,
Like musing about
critical
the
mass.
ones.
Always having to have critical mass.
Your game fails
Yeah.
if you don't have people playing it because it's a multiplayer only
And especially
experience.
with Battle Royale needing such a large mass of 100 people
Per
or
match,
whatever,
yeah.
that's ridiculous. The
And
other
there's-
games can just get away with 4
Well, thing
people
is,
or 8 people
I
or
looked
whatever.
at the Steam stats for so this is how bad. So the Culling 1 is still like because it's quite an old.
You can
it's-
still
it's
play
an old
Culling
game
1,
now.
right?
Yeah. It's still
just
not,
not
but
supported.
but it's an older game now. Like so, people have moved on to other games.
But
generally.
still, if
but
they
it
wanted
has
to-
its niche. It currently has I think it has 50 to 80 concurrent users. I think it was, which is like What?
It's a tiny little community.
It's tiny, but it's huge compared to the Culling 2.
Yeah.
And it's a 16-player match, so
you can still get a couple of games. You'll get a couple of games every once in a while. Yeah.
If they wanted to run the Battle Royale, like, hype train that's running at the moment, I feel like it might have actually been a better idea to make it a variant on the original Culling rather than a totally new game.
Absolutely.
And sort of be like, this is our niche. We are the small scale, personal, in your face battle royale.
Well, that's the way they want. They wanted to give it a game style aesthetic, much like Radical Heights, but not Smash TV 80s style. But they're like, hey, we've got a game announcer,
despite never playing that, I'm still kind of bummed that it died so quickly.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with this is like when there's so many battle royale games, there is going to be a lot of casualties. Yeah. Because people are going to chase this trend and then be like, I'm just going to make PUBG, and people are like, well, I'm just going to play PUBG.
PUBG instead, yeah.
Fuck, this game was $20. PUBG is the same. Fortnite is free. Why the fuck are we even looking at the Culling 2?
That's why I'm like, at what point
What's your
did
market?
The developers or the publishers or whoever made this decision go, this is a good idea? At no point does this sound like a good idea to me. The way that
at the point where PUBG sold 10 million copies and their eyeballs sort of went like dollar signs.
Yes,
we can do that.
Yeah, but no, to that point, it still doesn't make sense.
We're game devs. We make game. We make PUBG game. You buy, make money.
It still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because like you have an original idea. Sure, it's not doing that well, but you can't just go,
But they had
those
an
guys have
original
done
niche.
something, let's do what they do and we're going to make money.
Their legitimate
It doesn't make sense.
And their legitimate pitch was a more intimate battle royale experience,
Yeah.
which they actually had. They had a niche.
Yeah.
They had somewhere to go, hey, you know what? I want to play a melee-focused battle royale game. You had a game to go to.
Yeah.
If they wanted to make it more like their contemporaries, all they really had to do was replace the crafting system with random drops.
Potentially.
Job done.
That's the point, right? That's the point, right? Instead of going, let's make a 2 and copy PUBG, let's see how we can
our already tiny community.
Let's see how we can improve ours. Let's find small ways to make this more like appealing to people. So we've got this system.
Have you been telling lies, Adam? Are you fact checking yourself?
We've got this niche. Let's give people a better version of this niche. Like the only thing that I would call out that I actually like that Culling 2 has done is that surprise announcement. If they had gone, hey, we are stopping support of the Culling and gone, we're working on a new project, but then tied it back into the Culling and just gone, psych, this is a better version of the Culling and we've just improved on it. I'll be like, sweet.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. You've kind of like deceived me a little bit, but you've kind of given me a good surprise.
Yeah.
But instead of going, hey, the thing that you kind of did like, that's not great.
You know what you're worried about being a shameless cash grab because we're leaving the Culling for other projects? Guess what? It is a shameless cash grab.
We are doing exactly what you're worried that we are going to do.
Yeah, we're doing it right now. Here we go.
Guess what? You are 110% correct. Big money, big prizes. I love it.
But to that point, and we've kind of discussed this a little bit already, but it's just like, why are people just going PUBG?
Because it's the hype. It's the genre at the moment.
It is.
So we get that. We get that. It's the it genre. So PUBG came out, Fortnite came out and did better.
Yes.
Was Culling's expectation that go, let's do Fortnite or let's do PUBG, but better?
Well, I don't understand why they go, let's not do Fortnite. Yeah, why don't we do that, but our own twist? And then maybe we can carve out our own section. Because obviously, people thought PUBG was going to be the fucking... the one-stop shop.
For
you playing Battle Royale, you're playing
PUBG.
PUBG.
Yeah.
But then Fortnite came along and went, hey, what if we added like a
crafting, building, and
like a environment crafting system,
like
and made it and
more comical, more fun, more
and we do this and
colourful.
this and this, and they carved out a huge fucking and made it free to play. We carved out a huge fucking market for them. The Culling could have just been like, well, why don't we do it and carve out another part of this market that PUBG or Fortnite hasn't tapped into because they've done it already. They've already got the melee based system.
Yeah.
Why not just be like, why don't we scale this up? We scale it up for Culling 2. We scale everything up. it can be 100 players, and we can also have a 16-player
Version
old school,
still.
but we can have like a really tight, intense
100 player,
or
like
even 50 person,
Yeah.
but all melee. It's gonna be fucking nightmare.
it's just gonna be
It's
a
gonna be a
mess.
bloodbath, and people are gonna love it. But we're gonna carve out this section that people aren't gonna be able to get that fix from Fortnite or PUBG.
Yeah.
They can make that market, but they're just being like, or we could just copy PUBG.
So-
we could do that too,
You know, I think you're actually.
because one takes work, one
Yeah.
takes actual effort.
And that's the
And
point,
design.
right?
I think you're actually underestimating how much of a factor the Fortnite being free to play has in its success.
But they
Oh,
can make a full. They can make
100%. We get that.
But they can also adopt.
But they could. But they
Fortnite's
could.
model and make it free to play.
They could if they'd made
and have a fucking battle pass and all this other
that's
shit.
That's a good point. If they'd made the Culling 2 free to play with a battle pass and loot boxes, do you think they would have had as much of a negative backlash as selling it for? Because that's the thing, isn't
I
it?
Like
say-
$20 and it's a clone.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
am I paying
Yeah.
$20
So
for this?
to that point, yes,
Immediately.
you're right. Like if it was free to play, it probably would have gotten a better like
Which is strange
acceptance. But even to that point, no. Like I think people would have still been like, "This is more of the same. I don't
the thing
need
is, like,
this."
but yeah, it's just a gate. And then, to be honest, I think that if Fortnite didn't go free to play immediately, then I don't think Fortnite would be as big as it was. Solely because people are like, well, I've got a battle royale experience,
yeah.
and I don't want to buy another one. I don't want to have to be good at another
Yeah.
one.
Well,
I'm just going to keep
well,
with that one.
well, too bad.
And that would have immediately cut Fortnite's legs out from under them. But they went free to play. Give it a go.
Well,
Who
too
knows?
bad
Yeah.
because there's like 3 more battle royales going to be out by the end of the year.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like what's that? The one by the
COD and all that kind of.
COD and Battlefield have it, and there was like a dedicated one by the Paladins team, I think.
Yeah,
is it?
Paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who plays Paladin? Fuck.
But to that point, if it was free to play, instead of having 250 people at launch, they might have had a couple thousand or more. But after that initial launch, and people go, "This is still PUBG."
That is the day.
Unless it's like better implemented.
I'm not gonna.
I
can play PUBG. I've already bought PUBG.
That is
PUBG's been sold everywhere.
That is the danger of
Already own it.
going all in on a game design that requires you to have a large active community to even function.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
true.
Yeah.
But to that point of saying maybe like it takes time, it takes effort, it takes hard work to create that niche good product. Maybe they didn't have the time. Maybe they didn't have the money.
But they didn't
Maybe
have to
they
release
didn't have
it
the
right
means.
now, though.
Yes,
They
exactly.
didn't have to do that.
They should have just gone, the little bit of money and time that we have, let's improve the culling one.
Yeah.
That's the point here. But to that exact same thing, we're talking.
They wouldn't have hit the news if they'd done that though. We've hit the news because they like. Do you think they're actually going?
That's my point around.
Could they actually get some people who checking out the Culling 2 just because of how disastrously it's gone?
I've seen
so.
people buying it. Having said that, though, there's already been tweets from the game studio, and it looks like they could potentially be going under from this.
Yeah.
So there's no
silver lining to this.
They did it on purpose to outrage people. No, they're probably going to be like closing down soon.
But my point.
Play
Raz,
stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, like
Raz, my point earlier on of I liked this form of release of going, sorry, we're discontinuing this, we're not supporting it anymore. Hey, we're working on a new project. Surprise, it's still the Culling, but better.
Yeah.
That would have been
Culling
a good...
2.0, and then being like, instead of saying 2, it's like
It's the next iteration of what we've already got. That would have gotten them into the news without them just going, hey, we're PUBG
Because if they kept bug
it.
fixing and improving the original engine and just introduced the full style battle royale as an alternate mode or something.
Yeah, absolutely. But to that point, like I think we've probably touched on this several times before, and it's something that we all kind of like in terms of gaming, the originality aspect of things.
Yeah.
So right now we're talking battle royale, but what's missing in a lot of battle royale is that uniqueness so you can remake a game type or genre as often as you
absolutely.
like. But I personally think, and I think you guys probably agree with me, disagree if you want to, is that you need something, a selling point. You need something to be like, this is our game.
You need a market differentiator.
This is our game. This isn't just a clone. This is us going, this is a good thing that we need to do now. Let's just spit something out. This is our unique take on this specific scenario.
So let's take the game that I can't shut up about at the moment, Hollow Knight.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that as well.
That is, in a lot of ways, a textbook Metroid-like.
It is absolutely.
But what does it bring to the table? It brings a combat style that hasn't been seen that much.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of like Castlevania, but it's also a little bit different.
Yeah.
In that your character's a lot smaller, he bounces around a lot more, he's a bit more agile, you know?
Yeah, there's also the level of a difficulty, and in a similar kind of fashion where a lot of the moves are quite basic. There's not a lot of high level of complexity, but especially the bosses work in such a way where you have to be really good and masterful with
your basic
tool
moves.
set that you have. And like these kind of things, and the art, even things like the art style, and it provides, and even the storyline where there's like kind of like typical kind of like mute kind of protagonist character, but it definitely like there's a sense of storytelling and a character there that makes it for a unique experience, makes it enjoyable, and makes you think, oh, I'm gonna go back and play that. Like it's a fun thing. And you get something from that experience. So I'm not gonna I didn't see Hollow Knight come out and go, well, I could just wait because Metroid 5 is coming out soon.
Like,
so
I'll
just wait for that, right? Like that wasn't the response. It's not like, oh, well, I could just go and play Castlevania. Like, why would I play Hollow Knight?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just like to play more of those types of games because I really love the style.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's working within a genre. It's working within the the tropes of the genre, but also bringing its own unique twist
Spin.
on those tropes. What it hasn't done is gone in and just made it so you get all the exact same moves as Castlevania or Metroid in the exact same sort of world as Castlevania or Metroid.
Yeah, exactly. How disappointed would you have been if it was just, oh, why am I playing Metroid again? Yeah. As much as you love that genre in those games, you take this new title and go.
If I want to play Metroid, I just
played this before.
If I want to play Metroid, I just go play Super Metroid, which I still do sometimes.
And to that point, I love soccer games. But there are a million of them.
Yeah.
And each one, like you've got FIFAs that do their own thing. You've got PES. It's still a soccer game, but it does it somehow slightly different. Yeah. One of my favorite games ever is called Red Card Soccer.
Yeah.
And the thing that does is it's still a soccer game, but you can fly kick people. You can do backflips. You can do whatever the hell you want. It is a soccer game, but it's done it differently. It's done it in its own unique way.
Even
and it makes it amazing.
Sounds like an anime soccer game.
Even there's some we're talking about sports games, because sports games are one of the ones people pin up as they're not
rinse and repeat.
And generally because if it's more on real life sport, there's only so much
variation you can put on it.
But I remember when FIFA, when EA released FIFA Street, the first FIFA Street game, people were like, fuck yeah, I can play it's a futsal game. So people are immediately thank God,
it's different.
I want to get a soccer game that's different.
Yeah.
And the mechanics of actually playing the game was different. It wasn't just a small pitch. It was there were different mechanics to playing. And then there was also and then we've got good soccer game crossovers like Mario Strikers is a really popular. There's been famously bad ones like Mega Man Soccer. Was bit of a miss, but
I didn't actually realize that was a game until recently.
It's a bit of a miss on that one. But Mario Strikers is a fucking amazing, fun game.
I love that game,
and it's great.
Is that quite possibly the most violent Mario game that's ever been released?
Potentially. It's one of the most vulgar. I know that. Waluigi in that game is my fucking hero. Where he just throws his crotch into the face of whenever you get a score.
His move is just exploding fart and just knocks everybody out or confuses everyone.
And the thing is those games are and they are interesting ways of adapting sports, and you can find a niche and you can say
exactly.
well, let's do something.
I've actually noticed that people tend to have recently been saving their scorn for the yearly releases of of sports games for the ones that really screw it up. It's people have just accepted that it happens now. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, but it's been a thing for a very long time. FIFA at the very least has been going every year for the last 20 years.
The one that really the people have been criticizing is the one which had the loot box mechanic in it, whichever one that was.
Which is
14 onwards, I think.
Yeah,
15,
recently
15.
they have
14 had it.
No,
They had cards.
Yeah,
14 had
cards.
cards.
They've had cards for a while, but
Yeah.
loot boxing the cards
Yeah.
is a bit different. But that's I think that's a loot box problem rather than the
And EA just
reiteration
being
of the
like,
game.
oh yeah!
that's a
I got a FIFA game I can slap this shit right
underlying
into.
issue altogether.
What if we made a game that was just about microtransactions, where you could just have a battle pass and buy loot boxes?
What's the actual game? Oh,
I don't know. The game is that you take
you
your
pay.
you give
your
me
credit
money.
card.
That's the game. You give me money.
Give me your money.
Give
On this
Carl money.
console.
Simulator 2018.
Step one is just to input your credit card details and it just charges you consistently. It doesn't even, it's like, thanks, and then that's the
Like,
game. You're
get
like,
out of here.
It's like every
100% completion.
it's like every day I will charge you $10 on your credit card and you'll get a group of loot boxes in the mail and a new tick on your battle pass.
do you think that if a game came out with like 10,000 achievement score, but all you could do was like
Just pay for the achievement score.
basically it's just like if you give it $10, you get every $10 is like 10
It's
game
like
score.
yeah.
So you just keep paying money and be like, oh, it's 10,000. It's like 10 games worth, and it's worth it, right?
You joke, but people were actually doing that on
People
Steam.
would 100%
Yeah.
do that.
People were
Yeah.
like, it's like there were like achievement span games that had like some rubbish gameplay, and it would just like be like you boot it up and the achievements start rolling in. You play it for 10 minutes, you get like 2,000 achievements or whatever.
Yeah. You're like, I'm done.
I
My
think,
work here is done.
I think they got rid of that, but yeah, it's like just that happened. All right,
my
that's
God.
not a fresh idea.
Can't
That
even,
already
you can't
happened.
even make jokes about the game industry anymore. They're like, no, they actually
It's like,
did that
no,
already.
They've done it. They've done it. So it's already
They've done
happened.
that.
You mentioned Battle Pass.
Yes.
This is going to be our next topic now because explain Battle Pass to me.
Well, I actually haven't played a game that has
Requires
it, but the point is, it's like you pay
A brand new way to take money from your wallet.
yeah, pretty much. It's a type of DLC where it's sort of like you buy like a thing called a battle pass, and that gives you like a checklist of achievements to do. Some of which are like very simple, just sort of like play the game every day.
Yep.
You know, log in, get your login bonus. You know, play 3 games, win 3 games. You know, whatever. And as you check off the things,
checklist.
you get
rewards from
get
it.
rewards from it, other sort of cosmetics or DLC or whatever.
Right. Okay, so very much
I think
TF2
I was
contracts.
literally about to say it. I'm going to adopt Ryan for the moment. You think TF2 did that like 2 years ago?
right?
yes,
But that is exactly what it is.
yes, they did. So does that
Market
mean
leaders.
Does that mean that we
Best
can,
game on the planet.
does that mean we can say that Valve invented it? Maybe.
So no, to that point, is this a thing that's like Battle Pass on a console or on Steam or is it a game specific
So-
thing?
okay, so
It's
the
a
one
game.
that-
You buy the battle pass per game.
The one that's
Okay.
brought it into the mainstream is of course Fortnite.
Right. Okay.
And it kind of works for a free-to-play game. I mean, it's already got
And
loot
that's the same
boxes,
with TF2.
but
TF2
the
is
thing
free to play.
You don't have to grind too much for Fortnite stuff. For Fortnite, just free loot boxes and shit. So people don't really see that, and it's just like, okay,
There's no challenge to
pay
it.
$20 a month, and you get access to these things,
These
that you
unique
complete, and you get
things.
unique items. And,
Yeah.
and people are like, okay, cool, like, fine. But then the problem is that when, so of course PUBG just brought in their event pass, which is the same fucking
Same
thing.
thing.
And to no one's surprise, $20 a month for roughly the same time, actually less time than the Fortnite one. So it runs, it's just
Quicker, like
it's
quicker
a worse
churn.
thing. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know how they fucking did that. But also because the game has an upfront cost. People are like, why am I paying $20 a
More.
month? I already
Yeah.
paid to be here.
Yeah.
So,
I paid to be here.
And
man.
to be perfectly honest, what we're coming back to now is that people don't like it when you put what's essentially a free-to-play monetization mechanism into a
game.
paid game.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. So TF2 contracts.
People hated it with loot boxes. They're gonna hate it with battle passes as well.
Yeah.
Especially if they're worse value than a battle pass in a fucking free-to-play game.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So, TF2 contracts, Fortnite Battle Pass, those are actual mechanics that I understand. I get it. Again, in a free-to-play game, you're going, hey, you're still playing the game. If you want a little bit more, pay.
But you don't have to get the battle pass.
You don't have to.
If you don't give a fuck about cosmetic items, you don't need... Because again,
So
again,
I see
battle
two
pass
things in the
or
battle
cosmetic
pass.
as well. So
Yeah.
it doesn't alter your gameplay.
I see two things in the battle pass. It is, hey, complete these things and get these cosmetic items, or here are some extra challenges that you normally wouldn't like strive to do or even think to do.
A battle pass adds to multiplayer games things that like achievements would to a single or cooperative game. They basically give you goals. They give you direction beyond just grinding the game over and over.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why
that gives
where
it
I
replayability
appreciate.
as well.
And that's where I appreciate it because
From the game developer's perspective, it gives it allows you to provide players with a framework that actually incentivizes them to stay in the game and log on every day.
What's
exactly
amazing is that people are paying. The thing is, so like I play Dragon Ball Z Dokkan on my phone all the time. It's a free to play game. There are whales in it. People fucking spend thousands of dollars on this
tons of
goddamn
money.
phone game.
Yeah.
But to be honest though, like I get the currency that you get. You get enough of it for free that I've been playing it for 2 years now, and I have maybe spent $15 on the game in total. So like,
if it had a battle pass that incentivized you to log on every day and do achievements,
exactly. So this is the difference of like this has the same thing of being like you can get some extra currency and you can get whatever if you log in every day.
Yeah.
If you do this, basically to keep me hooked into
into
playing this game.
But that's not something you.
Now
That's
I'm
not something you
not
pay
you're not paying
for
for
this
that. Yeah,
though.
you're not paying for that.
The game developers put that in there so I don't stop playing their phone game.
Yeah.
But now, and then that was the first thing that tweaked me is like Fortnite's being like, well, how about we do the same thing? But you pay us to give you the incentives to stay here.
That's
like,
a slightly shitty thing, but I get it.
I do understand.
The thing is, for me, every time we look at these shitty things that developers do, or like things that were like, this is controversial or whatever, I try to look at it from a business sense.
Oh, they can't.
And it's just like, yeah, it makes sense because people will pay money for that.
Fuck yeah.
It is a way to keep people in the game, and it's a way to make more money.
Yeah.
Why the hell wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
And it is a small enough amount of money that the vast majority of their audience can afford to.
Yep.
Like TF2 contracts, though, they were cheaper. They were a couple of dollars, I believe. I can't quite remember. It's been a while now. So that was more accessible. This is $20 a month, I think you were saying?
$20 a month.
That's still reasonable. It's like you have so many subscriptions now. We have like Spotify, you have Google, YouTube Red or whatever.
And if Fortnite's the only game you're playing, it's not too bad. Having said that, if you are playing multiple games, that might be a bit expensive.
It would be. It absolutely would be.
So, not being a Fortnite player, I wasn't really familiar with what sort of things the Battle Pass would demand of you. So here's some examples from the new update. Search for chests in a specific location. Search floating lightning bolts. I don't know what that means. Follow an in-game treasure map and get kills in a specific location. Yeah, that's the sort of thing they're asking you for.
Well, and the interesting thing as well is that that you buy it through, and you get the battle pass in Fortnite through their in-game currency, which you convert from real dollars,
to their which is annoying.
Fucking fake happy Mickey bucks kind of Disney dollars.
Microsoft points.
Literally.
All of that shit.
Like Riot points or anything that uses in-game.
Oh my god,
it's
the same thing.
When you complete some of these, you actually can get
more
the in-game currency back. So if you actually do play it enough, you can actually recoup.
You can go infinite.
Your cost.
You can recoup the cost. So then you're like, well, if you play heaps of Fortnite, maybe the battle pass is free. Kind of
effectively,
kind of, which again,
which is
I
a
actually
fantastic
like
draw.
that idea.
That is a fantastic draw.
Be like, well, if I play enough of it, I get it for free.
I'll just keep playing. I'm never going to stop playing.
I got to get my money's worth. Like, exactly. So, like, it makes sense. But then when you stick that shit in... Because the thing is, as we mentioned previously about this game that no one fucking... Well, I don't know anyone that plays it. It's Paladins. Paladins have put one in there as well. They dropped the battle pass.
Yeah.
And the problem with that was...
Paladins
same kind of
play?
shit. No, I think Paladins is free to play.
Okay.
But the problem that they had with that is that they already have season passes.
Right.
So you buy a season pass, and what a season pass does now is pre-order you 3 battle passes. Why the fuck does that make any goddamn sense?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. But you can pre-order battle passes already. So we are so new in this technology, and people are like, you know how I can fuck with this? Adding pre-orders, adding like all of this shit on top. And like you can just see where this is going, right? We can see what like, EA is going to do.
The next EA game is going to launch with a season pass with a season pass and a pre-order bonus that you can't get anywhere else, and a battle pass and loot boxes,
just everything
and
wrong
some,
in gaming
and some
these
unique
days.
DLC that you like map packs.
Yeah,
you know, it's just
why don't we do everything?
Yeah.
Like, why don't we just do?
You know how badly that we did that one thing?
You know, you said the whole
everything now.
conversation of loot boxes. I was fine when loot boxes came on the scene because I was like, great. Because the games that I like to play beforehand that would start to introduce loot boxes were like, you can have loot boxes that are for cosmetic items, or
you can keep
when
playing the
DLC
game.
comes out, you can pay us $15
and
for
still
the new
and
maps,
get the same thing,
or get cut off from the online experience. That was what I was used to. So cosmetic loot boxes that I didn't give a fuck about, I was like, I'm great, I'm cool with that trade. And then games went, you know what? Why don't we do both instead? And I was like, now I'm not okay with this again.
I still prefer the way that Riot Games does it, where you just pay for skins.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
And that's it.
I mean, I'm totally fine with
But
that
you can
too.
get skins through loot boxes now.
But, like, content-
Only because they added it in later in the year of the loot box.
Yeah, exactly. But
I
the
still
thing
prefer
is,
the old way of doing
Roz,
it, where you just buy skins.
And I think we've touched on
absolutely.
this before. I'm okay with the way Riot's done it because they give you all the options. You have the option to just straight up pay for it. You have the option to
gamble and hopefully you might get less.
You have the option to pay for the boxes. You have the option to play the game to get the boxes, to do all of these
hopefully
things.
get the shit.
So it's easier to just pay. It's easier to pay and get the boxes and then unlock it. And then it's hardest to just unlock it through gameplay. So you have all the options. And when you have all the options, I'm like, I'm okay with this because if I don't want it, I don't have to. If I really want to, I can do any one of those things.
And it's getting to the point now where this over monetization of games is actually turning me off from things that I actually might want to play. So there's a new COD coming out this year. COD, Black Ops 4.
Yep.
Okay. Now I haven't played a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2, but I used to really like the Call of Duty games. You know, they were my FPS of choice. I had a lot of good times playing Modern Warfare 2 online, playing Black Ops online.
Yep.
Great stuff. So it's been ages since I played a COD game. I was actually almost considering
getting the
popping into Black Ops 4, you know, just as a nostalgia trip, you know, just as, you know, see, and especially because they're doing Battle Royale. I want to see where they're going with that, 'cause it's probably going to be absolute garbage, and I want to see that because it will probably be funny. But
you also
already they're talking about season passes. Already they're talking about
it's
exclusive versions. And
it's sort of like, you have to buy the season pass if you want to be able to get all the DLC and all the maps.
Hey, you want zombie mode? That is exclusive DLC to the
pass.
pre-orders or something.
Yeah,
like,
and
what the
why?
fuck?
And why would you do that?
Sort of like,
I no longer care.
Is it worth the trouble? Is it worth trying to figure out which edition with which add-ons I need to get what I want?
Yeah, it's
just for a bit of nostalgia.
And we're comparing this to like the start of this podcast of like the Switch, of where we could just like, I'm like, hey, this game looks fun. I just bought this indie game.
Bought it, play it, loved it.
$15.
End of story.
$17.50 Australian dollars, and I got like 40 hours out of that game.
Yeah.
Fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
A fun game for a reasonable price.
All right.
Bought it online. That's it.
We are up to our recommendation sections of this podcast, and I think our general recommendation right now is get a Switch. Play nothing but the Switch. End of story.
Yeah, Ben. Get a Switch.
I will.
Why don't you get a Switch?
Get a Switch. Get Hollow Knight.
Go for a walk to JB. Right after this, we'll get you a Switch.
Going straight to get a Switch. Anyway, in actual fact, let us do our little recommendations, quick fire recommendations.
Hollow Knight.
Hollow
Seriously,
Knight?
legit. Like I know that it was Carl's one last week. It's my one this week. Fucking play Hollow Knight. It's really good. It's really good. It's really fun.
Not just my weird taste in games. It's actually good.
No, it's a very
genuine
good, fun
game.
game.
Carl?
Well, I'm liking Octopath Traveler so far, but I feel like if it's the sort of game that you'd be into, you already know about it and probably already own it. But
No, maybe not, because
necessarily.
like I didn't. I didn't.
It's the kind of game I love, and
it's the kind of thing I would super buy. I'm probably going to buy it now.
And last but not least, similar to my intro, escape rooms. If you've never done one before, do one. They are fantastic fun.
Yep. I can confirm
Yes.
that.
So Raz, we need to do an escape room.
Yeah, okay.
We'll
Escape
find
room.
one. Well, there's
Yeah.
so many in the city. It's great. Anywho,
So if you're in the city and you hear somebody banging on the wall screaming, "Let me out of here," you'll know what happened.
you know what's going down. Anyway, I think that's a wrap. I think we'll call it there. Thank you very much for listening through to this point. As per usual, please jump onto our YouTube channel, check out our usual stuff. Like, subscribe, leave comments, let us know what you think. Question for you, lovely peoples. Is there any game that you felt had like a fantastic, unique aspect to it? Whether it's a first-person shooter, whether it's just a generic kind of a game that has a unique spiel to it, let us know. Jump onto our Discord, get the conversation happening there, get everybody involved. Anything else?
Nope, I'm done.
Sweet. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.
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 Huh.